and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I will be reviewing this new foundation from Hourglass. This is Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. So this foundation claims to deliver a natural, soft, focused finish and help protect against blue light. It also claims to minimize the look of imperfections, fine lines, and wrinkles. And it has white tea extract, vitamin E, and antioxidants. It's also free of parabens. It contains less than 1% synthetic fragrance. It's also vegan, gluten-free, and cruelty-free. And it also claims to be transfer resistant. It is resistant to humidity and sweat for flawless looking coverage that stays in place. So this checks out a lot of boxes for me because I have big pores on my skin and I want that blurring effect. And it's summer here now in Canada, so I want a foundation that would actually stick on my face and would last long, that has a long wearability. And although this foundation is fairly new, I've already read some comments on the Sephora website and it's half and half. Some people don't like this foundation because it actually cakes on their face and really accentuate their fine lines. And some people really love it, especially the ones that have oily skin. So we'll try it out. I have combination skin, I have oily T-zone, dry in some other parts. So let you know how it wears on my face. So with glowy foundations, I wanted to really grip on my skin. So today I'm going to use the NYX Plump Right Back Primer. Quite impressed with this primer, and I find that I've always find myself using this primer even for my other high-end foundations. I'm not too sure about that hydrating property of this, but I find that this primer actually gives you a good grip. It kind of reminds me of the Huda Beauty Water Jelly Primer. For sure, this is more affordable. So I'm just spreading it. Like with this primer, you can really feel like would give your foundation grip because like it's so sticky now. So I got the shade number 10, which is a medium shade for warm undertones. Like it's not too runny and it's not too creamy, it's in between. Oh, but I feel like it's gonna give me a good coverage with just one pump, but we'll try out. I'll swipe it here first. And I'm gonna use a sponge on my right side. So far, the coverage is really good. Like, can you see that? It really hides my hyperpigmentation so easily, and I still have a lot of product. I'll add more on the side of my nose. And then just a little on my forehead. So I'm usually an NC30 with MAC. And if you're my skin tone, I think that you should get one shade lighter than what I have. Maybe an 8 or a 9. But I'm fine with this. I'm just gonna put a highlight shade in the middle of my face. So this is how it looks like with one pump because I have a lot more product here in my hand. Before, without the foundation, and the after. This side of my face with my big pores is less visible. I also like how it looks like on camera and in person. It really looks like skin. I feel like it's a semi-matte foundation, although I still see a little glow on the side of my cheeks, but on the rest of my face it looks more demi-matte. But so far I like how it looks like. I like that it actually looks like skin but gives you a medium to full coverage. Let's see if I can add more here where I have my hyperpigmentation. Yeah, I think this is a very buildable foundation. I also like that when you put it on your face, it kind of like dissolves on your face. It doesn't like cake up or like look very heavy, like especially on parts where I put additional foundation, like on this part. Like you wouldn't know that I put extra there because it just seamlessly blends into your skin. As you can see, my hyperpigmentation there is almost gone. Like you can't see it anymore. I'll use a makeup brush on this side. Do you know what? It actually still blends pretty good with a makeup brush. I can still see a little blurring effect on this, although this side looks more smoother because I'm using my airbrush sponge, which I know a lot of people are asking me if I'm still selling them. I still am. It's just that I don't have time to like market and all, but once I figure out my schedule, I'm going to announce where you could buy the airbrush sponge. It's amazing. I've been using it on myself and on my clients. It's really good, especially for hiding the pores. So this is with a brush and this is with a sponge. I just feel like this looks more polished than this. This looks more thinner in application. So I'm gonna add more on the sides where I have hyperpigmentation. And I'm just going to use a sponge. Yeah, I like that better. I only used 2 pumps and it's already giving me a full coverage on both sides of my face. So when it comes to coverage, a little goes a long way. So just be mindful of how much you put onto your face. Maybe I'm gonna add a tiny bit on the middle of my nose, and like that's how tiny, because I feel like this is really gonna give you full coverage so instantly. Let's see how it is with cream products on top. So I'm using the GIORGIO Armani concealer. I forgot what it's called, but I'm just gonna put it on the description bar below. And yeah, blending creams on top of this foundation is not a problem, although you can really feel that it's setting already on my face, which I like because I know that my base wouldn't move. Don't like when it's too slippery and my foundation moves while I'm applying creams on top. Okay, so far with the concealer, it's really blending smoothly. I'm going to put a highlight on the center of my nose, just a little bit here and here. Again, I got a foundation a little darker than my skin tone. I'm just gonna highlight that part. I'm also going to use a cream bronzer. Let's see how easy it is to blend out. This is how my face looks like with all the creams without the powder yet. So the cream really blended well onto my skin. I feel like the foundation is already set, like really set. So I am going to also set my concealer. So this is Huda Beauty's Loose Baking and Setting Powder in the shade Pound Cake. And guys, oh gosh, like this powder puff really changed my makeup game. If you want to set your concealer with powder, this is the way to go. Like look how flawless like my under eye looks like. Powder is really good in hiding the pores, but especially when you're using this puff, it's amazing. So I'm just gonna let this without powder. I'm just gonna powder the center of my face. Okay, so I'm going to use the oldie but goodie butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. I guess there's only one shade. I'm not too sure, but I'm just going to bronze up my face. Just on my cheeks mostly. Maybe a little on the forehead. And then we're going to use this blush from Sephora. It's in the shade Flirted Up, which is supposedly the dupe for the Dior blush. Like the Kylie's Dior blush. I actually really like it. Put it on the side of my face. I feel like we're done. It looks demi matte now. It doesn't look too matte, but I feel like I look like I have super smooth skin. So far, I really love this foundation. It really gave me a good coverage. It doesn't actually accentuate the lines on my face. So far so good. I have no complaints with this foundation. If I have like a small thing to complain, it's just that the glow is now gone, especially when it sets on my face. And I don't expect to see the glow really, especially because the glow was concentrated on the top of my cheeks, and now the top of my cheeks has blush and bronzer and powder. It feels really light on the face. My face feels like plump, maybe also because of the primer, but my face feels soft. It doesn't feel too matte. It doesn't feel like it's tight, so it's really light on the face. I like the good coverage. So far, no complaints with this foundation. Let's see if this is actually transfer proof. I have my paper towel with me. Press on my face. Oh gosh, yeah, no, like I can't even feel the paper towel like sticking onto my face, so I know that it wouldn't transfer. So far so good. We are actually going to a park. We're going to Canada's Wonderland. So this foundation would really go to a test because it's quite hot now. We'll see how it wears throughout the night. I'm going to wear this for at least 5 hours, so I'll update you. But let's do the photography test first. Okay, so I'm back. It's almost 12 midnight. It is 11:53 p.m. I finished at 7 p.m. when I applied the foundation. So 5 hours. And I'm just gonna go closer so you would see what my face looks like. I'm also gonna capture it on my phone because I feel like you're gonna see it more on my phone. Overall, I think that when it comes to controlling my oil, it's really good. Like, I didn't get oily. Like my T-zone where I used the Huda Beauty powder, I think that this one also really helped in setting my foundation. But the coverage is still there. The parts where I didn't set with powder, it's much thinner than the parts where I really put powder on. When it comes to their claim, the first claim is that it minimized the look of imperfections, fine lines, and wrinkles. Like, I have a line on my forehead and it doesn't accentuate that. It didn't accentuate the laugh lines. But looking at my phone and looking at it now, like I can see the texture on my face over here. And also, I think it's because it's a demi matte foundation plus I added powder, so it's very matte now that you can really see the texture. But let me test if it's still transfer proof. Overall, I think that I would give this foundation a 4 out of 5 stars. I like that it really stayed on my face and the coverage is still there. I feel like this foundation is meant for a special occasion. I don't think that this is meant for an everyday foundation. Comparing it to the other foundations that I have used that are claiming to be a glowing foundation, this is actually, I find, more matte than glowy. So I don't really want to put it in that category, like in that glowy foundation category. I think that I would recommend this more to people with normal to oily skin because of its mattifying property. If you have dry skin and you really want to use this for a high coverage and for long wearability, make sure that you moisturize really well and you use a primer that is very moisturizing and hydrating, because this can be more matte than glowy. And if you can pass on putting heavy powders and heavy cream products on top of this, or maybe just use a setting spray in replacement to a setting powder. Personally, for me, I would still use this foundation. It is quite pricey at $73, but if I have some special occasion where I know that I need high coverage, I know that it has to last long, I think that this is a good foundation. So I hope that you find this review helpful, and if you did, please don't forget to like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll always be updated once a new video is out. Thank you so much, dolls, again for watching, and I'll see you on my next one.